You are lying in bed. The room is dark. Your phone is glowing against your face. You have 300 friends online. You have a group chat that never stops buzzing. You have followers, likes, notifications stacking up in the corner of your screen. And yet, something in your chest feels hollow. You tell yourself it's nothing. You tell yourself everyone feels this way sometimes. You scroll a little more, hoping the feeling will pass on its own. But what if that hollow feeling isn't nothing at all? What if it's one of the oldest alarms your body has ever built? The real answer is far stranger than you just need more friends. Loneliness isn't a mood. It isn't a personality flaw, and it isn't something that only happens to people who failed to build a life. Loneliness is a biological signal. It is ancient. It evolved for a reason, and that reason had almost nothing to do with feelings and everything to do with staying alive. Your brain didn't build loneliness to make you sad. It built loneliness to save your life. Rewind 200,000 years. Strip away the phone, the apartment, the city outside your window. Put yourself on an open savanna or in a thin forest at dusk with no walls and no locks and no streetlights. Now imagine you are alone, not alone for an evening, alone for good. Separated from your group, your band, your people, with no clear way back, no fire waiting for you at dusk, no familiar silhouettes moving against the horizon, just you and the growing dark and the sound of your own breathing. In that world, alone did not mean peaceful. Alone meant exposed. No one to watch your back while you slept. No one to warn you when a predator moved through the grass. No one to share food when the hunt failed, or to carry you back to camp if you were injured. Your ancestors did not survive as individuals, they survived as groups. A human alone in the Pleistocene was a human on a countdown clock, and everyone around them knew it. So the body adapted. It built a warning system, sharp and uncomfortable and impossible to ignore, one that fired whenever a person drifted too far from the group. That warning system is loneliness. Think of it like hunger. Hunger doesn't feel good, and it isn't supposed to. It's your body screaming that your fuel is running low, forcing you to act before real damage is done. Loneliness works the same way, except instead of screaming about food, it's screaming about safety. It's your nervous system saying, you are unprotected, do something about it, and do it now. This idea has a name in the world of neuroscience. The psychologist John Cacioppo, who spent much of his career studying loneliness at the University of Chicago, described it as a kind of built-in alarm. According to Cacioppo's research, loneliness doesn't just make you feel bad. It hijacks your physiology. It raises cortisol, the hormone your body releases under threat. It disrupts sleep, fragmenting it into shorter, shallower stretches, almost as if some part of you is standing watch through the night. It puts your nervous system into a state of vigilance, scanning for danger even when you're sitting safely on your own couch. Why would evolution build something so uncomfortable? Because comfortable doesn't get you noticed. A gentle nudge wouldn't have pulled a wandering human back to the group fast enough. The feeling had to be sharp. It had to be urgent. It had to feel, on some primal level, like danger. Because for most of human history, being alone actually was danger. To understand why, you have to understand the size of the world your ancestors actually lived in. It wasn't 7 billion people spread across continents. It was small. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar, studying the relationship between brain size and group size across primates, proposed that the human brain evolved to comfortably track relationships within a group of roughly 150 people. Not thousands, not millions, 150, give or take, the rough size of an extended hunter-gatherer community. That number, now known as Dunbar's number, matters because it tells you something about scale. Your ancestors weren't built to be known by strangers on the other side of the planet. They were built to be deeply known by a small circle of faces they saw every single day. Every relationship counted. Every bond mattered, because there was no backup network of distant contacts to fall back on if a handful of key relationships fell apart. In a group that small, exile wasn't a metaphor. It was closer to a death sentence. Anthropological accounts of small-scale societies describe banishment as one of the most severe punishments a community could hand down, often more feared than physical punishment itself, because it meant losing access to food sharing, protection, and the entire safety net a person had spent a lifetime building. Here's where it gets stranger. Loneliness doesn't just affect your mood. It changes your